a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. Hey, John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
I want to thank you, first of all, before I ask you about the stock. You and Tim Ward and all the gang at TFNN. I had a really, really good year after the October call you guys made. My 401k is up 72%.
Congratulations, man.
A couple of things I made with Coinbase and other stocks that I made, and I've had a good year.
And we appreciate you growling and prowling with us, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We got a two-way market right now, and you got the S&Ps negative by 14 points. How's that an acceleration for you? Down to 66.55 at about noon Eastern Time. We hit that low, and yeah, you're talking about another 100-point move after yesterday. Two of them coming back-to-back. We're catching a bid right now. Democrats trimming their demands is the headline. Either way, both parties got to come together in some capacity, and I feel like everybody losing their airline flights is going to do it. Hopefully it does. Maybe that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe it's not, but nonetheless, we have markets popping from those lows. We take a look at the volume. We've had some volume on this surge higher. You look at this, we're looking at 15 minutes. All right, and let's go to the dailies. S&P's negative by 13. And yeah, we are negative, and you have some volume, and today's going to be huge. We got a whole hour left to go in the day, and we've already done 1.7 million on the S&P. You take a look at the NASDAQ 100, you've already done 665,000 contracts, and we'll probably beat yesterday's as well. So you're going to potentially have lower price, higher volume, but this market has found a bid from noon. It's been 3 hours of positive action in this market. Yeah, right after noon Eastern Time, and you're talking about 300 points, almost 400 points in the NASDAQ 100 now. Dow, 500 points almost from the lows. 46,574. Dow, we'll call it flat, negative by 11, and the Russell, positive by 8. Bitcoin, catching a bid as well, up $2,200, 103,415. We jump over to yields. The 10-year right now, up by one tick. I'm pulling up the yield to take a look at where we are. Yeah, 4.09. 4.09. And so Democrats are looking for a one-year ACA tax credit extension. We're going to see these deals. They're going to get it done. This is a loser for everybody when the government shuts down. Yeah, you think so? It's a battle, man. We'll see where it goes. And it's a battle, and they got to get it done because nobody's getting paid. The skies are going to shut down. So think about that. It's going to happen because the sky is going to get shut down. So no politician is going to win elections when the sky gets shut down, especially coming into the holidays, right? So it's going to get done. They're going to find a way. It is quite a negotiation, but it's going to get done. And I feel like the impetus is to get it done over this weekend because now we got a real problem. We didn't have flight cancellations, okay? Flight cancellations are a big problem. People are going to be missing families, right? This is the impetus that's going to drive the market forward, and we'll see. But nonetheless, market's catching a bid right now. All right, let's talk a little bit of Tesla. Volatile with the market, $15 almost off the lows. Tesla, we take a look at the volume today. Elon gets his pay package, and yeah, it's going to be a big number. And this bar here, okay, you go back, folks. That bar brings you all the way back to the highs of 4 years ago, right? Remarkable. That high, 414.50. Tesla shares off by 2.3%. On a weekly basis, you're going to have some volume as well. So lofty promises after that pay package. How about Optimus performing surgery? You're going to have your own surgeon beyond human levels of precision, and its car business ramping up production. Yeah, the humanoid robot will progress from simple tasks to beyond human levels of precision. What's wild is it's not hard to believe when you think about the level of precision that your computers have for calculations. And in everything, it's just going to be a level of a calculation at some degree. Jump around to some of the retail stocks that were higher. We have some tariff concerns in this market, folks. We got government concerns, we got tariff concerns, but you saw it. We take a look at the heat map. Okay, look at the consumer staples, right? This is not how the chart usually, this is a reversal of everything that's been driving this market higher, okay? The stocks driving this market higher, now GE has been a behemoth, okay? Walmart as well, but look at this, okay? Right across the board, still in technology, right? Financials having a good day. The CME Group up 2%, KKR up by 2%, Walmart up by 1% today. You jump over to Coca-Cola, 2% higher. Pepsi up by 0.6%. Philip Morris, Colgate-Palmolive up by 1.7%. Target up 2.3%. Procter & Gamble's flat after being higher. Okay, and what's lower? All the tech stocks, every single one of them. Intel's up 1.6%. That's going to be a tough one for the market as we unwind potentially and what goes next for those tariffs. And that's going to be a little bit of a headwind, and it's part of what we're seeing today. Broadcom off by 2.5, AMD 2.5, Google off by 2%. Big numbers, man. Jump over to Costco, up by 0.1%. Take a look at longer term. Yeah, we got a little bit of a rollover here in Costco. Got selling the week of September 22nd on their earnings. You drive down to a low of 905. Can't get above that level. We hit a low of 908 this week on Costco. Let's check out the streamers. Netflix up by 0.5% right now. Let's take a look at the volume in Netflix. Gap away on their numbers. Yeah, we're building a little bit of a floor. 1100. Let's look at a longer term picture. That's your daily. We look at a weekly. You got highs out here from February, but not a lot of volume. You got a lot of volume in here from April when you accelerate out of the tariff scenario. And there's your high, 1100. So look for that price to hold on the short term. 1100 to 1060, 1062, the highs from February, that area there. Because you got some selling on Netflix here. You break below 1100. I mean, just a 382 is 900, just that quick. That's going back to where we were, the February lows. Jump over to Disney, up by 0.4% right now for Disney. Look at Warner Brothers. It's not stopping. Up by 1.3%. Paramount Skydance up by 2%. All right, folks, we got a two-way market today. We'll see what the final 45 minutes holds. We got the S&Ps negative by 10, Dow back in the red, NASDAQ 100 off by 141 points. We'll come right back, folks.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's negative by 12, and yeah, where is the positioning going to be as we see a little bit of a rollover at 67.40 right now? The headlines out there hitting that deal has been rejected, and is there going to be a counter? There'll be a counter. Will that counter be accepted or rejected instantly? Republicans reject shutdown offer as travel food aid delays the hit. And that was a one-year extension of those expiring health care subsidies, prolonging that stalemate. And those have been at the center of this shutdown, and they were looking for a one-year extension, and so we'll see where we go. We're not going to do that. A Montana Republican says, with close ties, Mr. Steve Daines. Yeah, everyone's under pressure. Everyone's going to get the blame, as they should. So the Senate later Friday is set to hold a procedural vote on a bill that would pay federal workers who have gone without pay during the shutdown, at least so that they get paid. Can you imagine working for TSA and you're hearing the president saying no one's even guaranteed to get paid? The morale of showing up and doing your job and being in security in that instance, it's a tough one. Thanksgiving's canceled, everybody. They're not going to let that happen. They're going to figure it out. Hey, go from there. But that's one. We'll see what plays out. Okay, we go back to the market, and we are getting some data from the University of Michigan. Consumer sentiment. This is the lowest since 2022 and record low levels. How about that? Yeah. Consumer sentiment 50.3 from 53.6. The reading now just slightly above the levels. Let me blow this up so we can. Slightly above the levels that sentiment sank to amid the historic inflation in 2022. So that was early this morning, contributing to some of the sell-off. All right, let's jump around to some of the airlines. Can't hold Delta down. Can't hold them down on a bad day. Canceling 10% of your flights, no problem. Delta up by 2% right now. United up by 1.6%. You jump over to American, up by 3%. There you go. JetBlue shares up by 4.7%. I think this is one of those situations where it's finally gotten bad enough they're going to get in the room. I really do. You know, people are going to have parents. My own mom's flight got canceled last night. Okay. Got canceled. No, excuse me. Yeah, got canceled last night. It was supposed to be today. The good news is they booked her same day, but she was going to land at 12:30 the last flight, so she rebooked it for tomorrow, which you could get. Not the end of the world if people get shuffled down on the same day, but they can't do that if they're canceling 20% of flights. Something we've never seen before. The government shuts down and air travel ceases to exist. Right? The market used to flip out on scenarios like this, and at some point it will. It's become a little bit lulled into thinking that it won't matter, and it's becoming a real-life mattering event. Many people like to joke about government shutdown, nobody even notices, what's the point, why are we spending all this money, right? Well, the only reason you don't notice is because people are working in the TSA who aren't getting paid. Yeah, we got a little bit of a rollover. Let's go back to a 5-minute. You know, that's one of the buffers right now on the short side of this market, okay, is that they're going to have to get something together. On the tariff front, that's going to be a different story, though. Get the dollar pulling back from 100. We have the Fed with their December 10th meeting. 4.09 right now on that 10-year. All right, we jump around to AI. So Oracle, you talk about filling the gap, folks. You filled it from their last earnings, okay? Come into those earnings at 241. You trade up to 345, and within 2 months, you're filling that gap. You test it. You're at 236.92 right now. You know, you've been trading lower on lighter volume, though. You had some volume here around 300. You had some volume selling off the acceleration, but volume's lightened up on this pullback. Okay, and you pull it over. You talk about some funding. Talking about billions. How about 18 billion you kick it off with? 18. And that's just in New Mexico. Man, these things. So I saw out there that it's $50 billion for a gigawatt data center. 20 banks, 18 billion. So almost $1 billion each to fund the construction of a data center tied to Oracle. Dona Ana County, New Mexico, part of the Stargate project, to invest $500 billion and build AI infrastructure. So 2.5 points over the secured overnight financing rate, with the maturity expected to be 4 years and the option to extend the maturity twice for 12 months. Not bad, right? 4 years plus 1 year plus 1 year. 6 years max. Get it done. Build it out. Let's go. Yeah, part of Stargate. $500 billion. Coming to a backyard near you. Similar to the $38 billion loan package banks are providing in 2 tranches to help finance the construction in Texas and Wisconsin. Whew. Let's take a look at the weekly on Oracle. Yeah, look how we're lightening up, right? On this pullback, you're coming into all this volume, you're lightening up. October 13th, 122, and then 97 million, then 89 million, and we're doing 82 million so far this week. Quite a pullback, quite a give back. You fill the gap on Oracle. You jump around to NVIDIA. Take a look at the weekly on NVIDIA. All right. You're pulling back on almost comparable volume to what we did the prior week. Look at these volumes on NVIDIA. Amazing numbers. Microsoft. All right, we continue the run, but you're going to have lighter volume than their prior week, which was earnings. Jump over to Apple shares. Look at Apple. Trade higher with volume, pull back with lighter volume. Apple's strong, man. Jump over to Amazon. Same deal. Big numbers on their earnings. So you make a high on lighter volume. That's a nice bar last week in Amazon because you broke the highs, you broke the all-time highs, you did it with volume. We're coming back, we're testing it on lighter volume. All right, we got markets selling off. A little bit of a risk off going into the closing bell. We get the S&Ps right now off by 22 points. NASDAQ 100 off by 209. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. NASDAQ 100, we're off by 158 points or 0.6% in the red. You take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's been quite a little decline, and we're going to get some volume today, ramping up. This is going to be the most volume we've had since we had that Friday where we started talking about 100% tariffs on China from the president. So, yeah, we're bumping up on a daily basis with some volume trading lower. But it's almost like it's got to get worse before it gets better. And I think that's what's happening with the hopes of a shutdown near. Not a coincidence that you get Democrats reaching out today or either talking or whatever it is, okay, as in flights are getting canceled today, folks. Stock buyers step in on hope shutdowns near. And, yeah, I'd say that's what's happening as well. Democrats make an offer. Republicans reject it. Even if reports of incremental progress being made to turn the lights back on yield a deal, the data distortions will linger for the foreseeable future. And that's the problem. We're supposed to get in Jobs Friday today, folks. Okay? So today was supposed to be Jobs Friday for October. We're not getting that one. And then we have a December 10th meeting, and we're not going to get that one as well. And we got a CPI print, but you only got that because the federal government needed it for cost of living adjustments. We're not going to get that as well. So no more CPI, no more non-farm payrolls. Now, they have state data. They have a lot of data that they have access to. They have private payrolls, of course. Okay, they have more than that, but yeah. Private sector hiring we get, and job cuts we get. Okay? But yeah. Pretty remarkable with the situation that we're in, right? We have inflation pushing at 2.9%. We have jobs weakening. We have a Fed that's in a situation. There's disagreements of the chairman makes the comparison himself. Not often do you find yourself with inflation persisting, pushing 3% at the same time you have a weakening jobs market. That's what they're worried about right now. And then on top of it, no data. And they have a job to do. He said, listen, we got a job to do. They have to make a decision. Sometimes you're going to have more information than you are others. This time they're going to have very little information compared to what they usually have. And that's probably going to make them more cautious, right? They'll have less conviction in their opinion because of the lack of data. There's a higher probability they're going to be wrong because they're less well-informed. And they're going to be aware of that as well. Yeah. And this is the best case in terms of when the market opens, what we may get. The data is going to be a mess for a month or two. Those offices have to open back up. They have to actually go out and procure all that data. So we're going to have some uncertainty persisting for a period of time. All right, we jump over to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin bouncing off 100,000. Put that line on your charts, folks. There it is. 4 straight days. We come down, we hit 100,000. And yeah, not ideal when you start seeing headlines, okay, like this in crypto. It's been a banner year for growth. Crypto bear market wipes out entire 2025. Now, the precursor to that is it was a heck of a run ahead of where you got to in 2025, right? As we were at about 60,000 in September, Trump won in November, and you were at between 69 and 75,000. So we're still up 33% from where we were prior to the election, okay? But yeah, that's an entire give back from where we were. You're sitting at 100,000. You got to this price point when? A year ago, folks, November 18th, 2024. That weekly bar, 100,000. There we are. So if you don't think it can happen in the NASDAQ, you better believe it can, folks. And they're not the same, but they were trading in tandem for a long period of time. Things separated when you got a lot of deregulation. You got Trump coins and Trump coin mania and Trump family crypto wealth creation mania, okay? And crypto accelerated. But if crypto can go back, you better believe there's some risk in this market when the NASDAQ's at 25,000. And meanwhile, coming into the tariff volatility, we were almost 3,000 points lower. NVIDIA was at 182, I think, today at the low. Let's see how low we got. No, we got lower than that. Look at this. We got into a 178 handle. My goodness. You trade from 211 down to 178. You're talking about a move of $33, and you're talking about a move of $800 billion in market cap lost within a trading week, folks. That's not after hours trading. That's Monday's high to Friday's low in NVIDIA is $800 billion. If you don't think there's some risk in this market when one equity can lose $800 billion in market capitalization from Monday to Friday, what happened this week? Why did it do that? There was some selling. There was no dire consequence for NVIDIA. You just had a pullback. And the pullbacks in NVIDIA over a 5-day period are now losing $800 billion in market cap. So, I think politicians are going to get a deal going. Okay. Nobody's going to want to be at town halls, folks, when everybody has to ask them why they can't fly anywhere and airports are shut down. No politician's going to win that. Everyone's going to be upset. It's not going to matter. Get in there and get a deal together and make our lives better. Okay? So they're going to get a deal. Look at Wayfair, up by 9%. Tariffs look like they're getting overturned, folks. Okay, there's been some big bets today where they stepped in. They made an educated guess. They said this Supreme Court is not cool with giving the president the right to tax, no matter how they call it. The only question, I think, is whether they're going to have to give that money back and if it's even feasible. Got Wayfair up by 9% today. Yeah, Procter & Gamble's a tough one. Look at this chart. Been within this channel line for a period of time. Okay, it's a nice channel from 2018, and you broke well below that. You haven't picked up a bid yet. Look at this. All right, you're selling with volume. Look at all the selling you get from Procter & Gamble. There you go, folks. You're looking for some Mickey D's? Chopping around near the bottom portion of that trend line. McDonald's right now up by 0.5%. Take a look at the daily. You can see just off that trend line. You might want to have a little bit more patience, but we're pretty close. When you look at the fact that channel line goes from 290 to 350, we're trading at 300 on Mickey D's. And yeah, strong numbers for them this week. All right. Market saving itself a bit so far. We got about 21 minutes left to go in trading. S&Ps were negative by 10. NASDAQ 100 off by 156. Dow slightly in the red. And yeah, tech stocks trading low. NVIDIA off by 0.7% right now. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the NASDAQ 100 off by 158 right now, and yeah, quite a surge higher, saving itself. NASDAQ 100 was down 500 points at one point. Okay, we're 400 points off of the lows, and we're trading at 25,092. You were as low as 24,709. And yeah, you talk about private equity. This one's a little bit too long, but you know, I'll just slide it over here because I was reading this one earlier today. And so the headline here is from the Journal, okay? This small town pension fund is a warning for millions of retirement savers. If you think cashing out a private fund is easy, just ask a guy who used to manage, you know, as private equity comes to everything, okay? You better be careful, all right? And you look at private real estate funds, annual net cash flow, how's that for you, right? Meanwhile, look at the assets. That's all you have to see. That's literally it. The advocates of private funds say they can provide superior returns to public markets, and it's true, but the big difference is can and usually do, okay, and the cash flow. Yeah, and then you get the gated redemptions. Restricting redemptions to small amounts. This pension plan was able to redeem only a little under $64,000, which was less than 7.5% of their position. Imagine that. Imagine you have 100 grand in there, and they say you can only take back $7,500. Nope, the rest of it's stuck in there. Can't get it back to you just yet. And last October, they withdrew less than 0.2% of the holdings. That fund, 1.1% annual expenses. That's the part I wanted to get to. Okay, there's a liquidity problem. The expenses are higher, and it really surprises me that these are going to get pushed into 401k markets all over the place, because there's going to be conflicts of interest everywhere when money managers are going to want to put clients' money into those funds because they're going to be making so much money. And at the same time, it's proven that it's very difficult to market to take money out of there for liquidity. And this real estate fund charges 8 times the expenses of Vanguard's real estate index fund and its identical twin. The same thing, just very high expenses. So yeah, you better beware. I could spend a whole show doing that one. Yeah, Fiserv. They're going to have to look into this one, folks. Check out Fiserv. So Fiserv is up 3% today. You drive lower yesterday. all we've been doing is dropping. Since 238.59, you're at $63. Okay, this company right now. Come on, there we go. You're talking about a company now, $34 billion. 1/4 of the size that they were in February. Okay, and what's remarkable is this gentleman, who now heads Social Security, okay, this one shouldn't be about politics, because the more I read about it, Frank Bisinano, I'm going to have to get the pronunciation of that one, former chairman and chief executive. Now, what's amazing here is that he was able to divest all of these options he had, okay? He sold it when he exited, $558 million in stock. He got $170 a share, folks. It's at $60 right now. And you know what makes it even better than that? Because he divested like that, he didn't have to pay taxes on the sale, because it was a forced sale. Then he goes in to work for the Social Security for the government. All he had to do was take that money and immediately put it into there were some, it's certain things that you can put it into that meet the obligation that you defer the taxes. So he sold off $558 million and delayed the taxes and put that into other investments. And the best part about that is he had to put it in other investments. And look where the market probably was around that time, right? His $558 million is now up 10, 15, 20%, depending on where he put it. So it's now at about $650 million. He never paid any taxes on it, because when they divested, he could go right into another vehicle and delay the taxes, as opposed to, okay, and the kicker here is that their financials were wrong. So he knew he was getting out of Dodge. He wanted to make sure that that stock was inflated by the time he sold. He got it done. He sold. The next guy in charge, the CFO, gets fired. They restate their expectations. And yeah, it's for all the conspiracies in the world, if you can't put that one together, folks, it's about as easy as it goes. You're managing that company. You know that when you leave, you're going to have to sell your shares. You want to make sure they're as high as they can possibly be. The stock runs up in July of last year from $150 to $238. He sells it by $170 was the price, and before you know it, you're out. And the thing's at $60, and I just slid it over a little bit. Yeah. And the real problem is they have financial problems. Things are cooked. So be careful of that one. And as I said, I have friends in the business, folks. They were getting almost panic-like emails. Okay, imagine huge people in the credit card services industry getting huge, almost panic-like emails saying, we want you to sign up for a full year of goods and services, of items. We're going to keep those items. We'll store them. Okay, you won't even have to store them. And you use them when you sell them to your merchants. We will ship them to you. But we want you to sign the contract now. It's pulling forward future revenue that has not yet been received. And, hey, we'll see it all play out, but there's a lot of allegations. And when you got to can the CFO, man, and you're talking about the books, okay? But yeah, guess what? It's got to come from Republicans, and that is not likely. And it's unfortunate, because it doesn't get much quicker than that, folks, okay? Doesn't even mean this has anything to do with Trump, right? This guy could be up to his, it doesn't mean it could have anything to do with how he's managing Social Security, right? What it has to mean is he knew that he was going to have to sell his shares to divest. You want to prop the company up as well as you can from then. He sells them, he gets out of Dodge, and then everybody finds out that he had inflated the market. And that's what the stock looks like. Pretty remarkable. Seems like he pushed the limits. You can push that to a certain degree, right, in legal ability. But from what I read and what I hear, whether it's pulling forward revenue, okay, or whether it's just playing games, okay, and maybe he's going to allege they're probably legal, and who knows whether they are. We'll find out, folks, but they should look into it, because just line up the math of that, right? Line it up. He's running the company. He knows he's going to leave. He knows he has to divest. He gets out of Dodge, and then the next guy in charge, they tell the world that, hey, guess what? The financials aren't what we thought they were. That's where we are right now. Of course they should look into that. He's running the Social Security Administration, and seems like he just pilfered public investors to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. S&P's off by 7. We're coming right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
This part about Fiserv, right, folks? One of my good friends in the industry, okay, they signed up 10,000 merchants to Fiserv. Okay, these are real players. Okay, the deals that they were playing here, it should come out. That's the last part, and it's tantalizing. It is, but that's the level I'm talking about. Okay, these are, it's a mammoth company. When you're in credit card processing nationwide, they're doing more than $1 billion of gross credit card processing a month. They do tremendous business with Fiserv. They have for some time. Very familiar with it. And to hear the stories, okay, that, they were trying to push out basically 12 months of forward sales, right, of what they would normally buy for and pay anyway, okay? And this is what was happening here, okay? Listen to this closely. We're going to end with this, all right? I appreciate so much of you guys being out there supporting me, TFNN, okay, supporting Basil, Steve, Larry, myself, Al behind it. I'm telling you on this one, folks, okay, the pain's already in the stock. This isn't saying short it, but imagine on that level, okay, these people, they're buying 10,000, they're signing up 10,000 merchants to Fiserv, okay? So you're sending them out equipment, etc., okay? And all they wanted them to do was basically buy the goods that they were going to buy ahead of time for the next year. They were going to give them a 30% discount, okay? They were going to hold the goods, and they were going to give them a 1-year extra warranty on the goods to make sure that they weren't getting screwed for the warranty, because they knew they really weren't going to use those goods for the next year, right? Fiserv was going to hold them for a year. They were already paid for. They pulled forward all that revenue of natural buying from the next year. They thought it was so suspect, okay, that they were a little nervous that the company might be in trouble, and they didn't take the deal. And that deal alone could have saved them $1.2 million, okay, in terms of this. That's the type of money. And you look at this market, we're green. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Spend your Friday right here. Listen, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy it. Be careful out there. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you back here Monday morning, folks. Thank you so much.
Building